Hi, I'm Sally Allen, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Today I'm going to show you how to make a card with some items that are on our last chance product sale on StampinUp.com. If you go to StampinUp.com and hover over the sales and specials and then click on last chance product sale, you can search for Happy and you'll see the So Much Happy stamp set, the Happy dies, and the Happy bundle. The dies have been reduced by 60%, so they're only $12. Let's get going. This is the Happy, So Much Happy stamp set. Looks like this. And then, I have the dies inside. So the dies are on the list for only $12. So you could use the dies all by themselves if you don't have the stamp set or you don't want it. So we're going to use both today. So you see I've used the Happy die, the balloon dies and the balloon stamps, and the birthday that just says just birthday. I've used that stamp. So you can see how much more you could actually do. Alright, let's get started with the actual card. You're going to need, and you can use any color. I've used the Designer Series paper from Forever Greenery, and if you love this paper, you better get some now because it's retiring. Alright, so we need a card base, color of your choice. I've chosen Just Jade, and those are the in colors that will be around for another year. I've really enjoyed these colors this year. So this is Just Jade. And you need, this is 8.5 by 5.5, and then you score it at 4 1/4. That's just your standard card. And then the inside piece of paper for the inside greeting is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to put those together and put those off to the side. Now the next thing you need is a piece of white paper, 4 1/8 by 5 1/8. And you need Designer Series paper. You want something that coordinates with your card base. And that's why I love this Forever Greenery, because there's an endless variety of, well, I guess not endless, but a variety of greens and blues, and it's really fun to work with. You'll need some small white scraps for the balloons, any kind of scrap piece of paper, and then a small white piece of paper for the word birthday. Alright, so we're going to get going, and the first thing we're going to do is, and I'm sorry, I didn't mention this one. It's 2 inches by 6 inches, and this is the one that I'm going to use for the word happy. So let me get my die, and I want to put it dead center on there and cut it out. So let me step away and get to my what used to be a big shot. Alright, now I have my word happy. Just going to put my die back in there. Okay, so now we want to take the white piece, and what I like to do when I'm designing something like this is to use paper clips, because I don't want to commit until I know it's just right. Yesterday I was doing this and I was just moving along and oops, I had cut one of the pieces the wrong size. So paper clips are good. So what we want is the larger piece of DSP, and line it up so that the edges are roughly the same, so you can see the top is the same as the sides. So I'm just going to put my paper clip. And then the happy, you see when I cut it out, I don't know if you can see the little indent, the happy die itself ended there at the indent, and I had cut my paper a little bit larger. So it'll fit right under there. And I also want to center that on the paper. And then here's my bottom piece, and again I want the sides and the bottom Looks like I got the side a little bit. Let me step over to Rhonda and cut just a tiny bit off of here. Thought I had it exactly at 4, and I did not. All right. So now, still have a little too long. We're just going to go with it. All right. So now I'm going to move Happy up just a tad, so you see how why I like the paper clips. So there we go. Lift up this corner, put that there. And now I always use liquid glue on these kinds of projects because it's a little more forgiving and easy to move around if you need to. And you see that I let that move. All right, so I'm going down with Happy and then do my designer series paper. So I did several different kinds of this card because it's really a versatile layout. All right, so there's the top, and again I can wiggle it a little because you see how my Happy wasn't exactly the same on both sides. So now it is. All right, so now I can put some glue on here. And then glue my designer series paper down. And there we go. All right, so the next thing I want to do is trim the little lines off of the Happy. And to do that, I'm just going to use my little small trimmer. A lot of people have these. If they signed up during a certain time frame, they got this little trimmer, and then they sold them, and I got some for my customers for Christmas. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way. The edge here is this very edge, so I'm just going to line up my whole little piece of paper there and cut off the sides. I like this little trimmer when I don't have a lot of room, like when I'm making a video and I have to try to get my whole trimmer in the video. So there you go. I trimmed that off. Now I'm going to take that white piece out of the middle of the card, and we're going to glue this to the front of the card. And why does this stuff dry so fast? That you get a little plug in there, because I don't like to put the lid on. This is Tombow. Sometimes you hear it called green glue. We do sell it in the catalog. You can get it on my Stampin' Up! Website. Mono liquid glue. And I like that it has the wide end and the narrow end. Now I use the narrow end more often than not, and I have this little tiny vase that a tiny little orchid came in, and I just keep them like that so that it's ready to go when I want the glue. So now I'm going to talk so long that the glue is going to dry. Sitting around watching glue dry. All right. So there's my Happy. So the next thing I want to do is I put balloons on this one. And so I already went ahead and stamped those and cut them out. Now I used I did one of the, can you see the gold balloon? So I used gold thread or cord, whatever you want to call it. And it came in the mini catalog last year as a wonderful Wonder of Season combo. So it came with this, and I think it was green ribbon. I can't remember. But anyway, this is a great way to add some bling to your card. Use one gold one. And what I like to do is get the Scotch tape out, or whatever you call it that's non-generic. Get your paper snips and just cut several little pieces of the gold cord. It's always good to have a odd number, so we'll go for 3 or 5. So there's 5 pieces. So what I do then is just try to put it under where the little balloon, where you tie the balloon. And if you go crazy with the tape like I sometimes do, just trim it off. And I did a couple of balloons out of Pear Pizzazz, because that's what's in here, and then a couple out of Just Jade, because that's another color in this designer series paper, and I did a gold one. So there I go with my tape hanging over the edge of a, just cut a tinier piece. You could, I guess, use tear and tape, or you could use any kind of adhesive that you want, but the little tape works for me. It's a little more forgiving if I find out that I put it on there and I don't really want it. I want something else. Another option for tethering these balloons is your linen thread, like this. So this would be fun too. I always wrap my linen thread around an old wooden spool, because when it comes off those cards, it has a kink in it, and I don't like that. But if I just wrap it on here, then the kink goes away. So that's that. And I have 2 little ones. Oh no, I have a big one and 2 little ones. So let me see, before I tape all this down, what it is I actually want. And I'm talking, so I keep getting my all right, so let's do this. I think what I want to do is glue these 2 down. So now my tape will get glued down along with the balloon. And I'm going to put this one a little bit lower, right there. And now I think I'm going to come in with this little stripe balloon. So this is on the stamp set. And then the little balloons, oops, and I didn't put any. Of course I want it. I didn't put the glue, or the tape on it. Let's just see if we can, and it's upside down. And now it's sticking to my fingers. So what I want here, see why I don't glue these? Tape just works better for me. I'm gonna put it kind of under that balloon. And then if you want the, which I do want the gold one, and I'm going to put it up with some dimensionals. I have my dimensionals right here. And I'm going to put it right on top of these. Kind of, didn't I just say I wanted the gold one? I'm not doing so well today. This ought to be a grand video. A lot of editing, I guess. Alright, so there's my gold balloon. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my other little stripe balloon. And I'm going to put it on a dimensional too, but I am going to put it over, because I want it here, but I want it up. So I'm going to put the dimensional off to the side there. And I don't have the silly tape. You'd think it was a Monday. It's a Friday. I'm just going to put it right on top of the dimensional. And then let's see. Like this. Alright. So now what you can do is gather up all the little balloon strings and tie it with a bow. And of course, my hands are sticky now from messing with the glue, so let me wipe them off a little. And we're going to attempt to tie a tiny little bow, which is sometimes, some days I do it, and some days it's just not easy. It helps for me if I don't try to be chintzy and use a long enough piece of string. So if my bow, I have to make it bigger to make my fingers work with it, it's okay, because if I have a lot, then I can do that and just pull it and tighten it up. All right, so these I want to clip, and there's our finished card. So that's how fast and easy that card is. Oh, we're not finished. Sorry. One thing we have to do, we have happy, and I guess you could just leave happy. You could do happy birthday, happy anniversary, or graduation, or anything. This would be kind of fun for a little kindergarten graduation. But I did the word happy, and I'm just going to fussy cut that word birthday out. Oops, I just cut through the B. So I will make another one, but for this video, I'm telling you, it's one of those days. And this time I'll use the smaller dimensionals to lift birthday up off the card. So then on the inside of the card, you can choose a greeting. One of the stamp sets that's going to stay in the catalog is this Peaceful Moments. So you can do whatever you want. Life is better with a friends like you, wishing you every happiness this day will bring, or any other greeting you want for the inside of your card. So that's the card that we made, and this is the one that I had made ahead of time. And then I decided, instead of balloons and gold thread, I used some dies from the Forever Flourishing, which goes with the Forever Fern stamp set and designer series paper. So that was a bundle at one time, at the beginning of last year's catalog. So Bumblebee, this color is going to stay because that's an in color. Jade is going to stay. Of course, Pear Pizzazz has been in our catalog for a long, long time. And we've moved from Whisper White to Basic White. So my Basic White. So there's 3 cards that I made out of this stamp and die set. And like I said, when you go to Stampin' Up and you click on specials and then go down to last chance, and those are where you're going to find this die set called Happy Dies, and then So Much Happy stamp set. You can get the bundle, but I suggest you don't do that, because the bundle is the same price that it was in the catalog last year, but the dies are on sale for only $12. So you could even get by with just the dies if that's what you wanted to do. Thanks for stopping by.